Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back to Maru versus Reynor here over on 2K Atmospheres. We see Reynor playing in the orange color while Maru wrapping that blue. Opening up with a marine first into that quick factory and then the reactor with that double gas as well, going for a very aggressive early game. This can be followed up with a bunch of different openers. We could be seeing something like a 7 marine mine drop. We could be seeing a Hellion run by while going for a marine drop. There's really a lot of different things that Maru could play from here. I think he's played BC openers in the past of this as well. Opening with like a triple Hellion, 7 marine drop, following it up with BCs and then eventually mech. During Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, this kind of was his go-to build. I think he played it twice against Reynor there as well. Maybe once against Reynor, once against Sarah. Can't quite recall. Anyway, this does allow Reynor to have a very clean first 3.5 first minutes of this game. Every creep tumor is going to be sent exactly to the edge of where it's allowed to be sent. And against a player like Reynor, who always is on point, always on time with his creep tumors, even when he is under pressure, I mean, this is going to be an absolute gift as well. Like, he's going to get it even further than usual. This creep tumor will not be in cooldown for very long. I can absolutely guarantee you that. Now, third base already on the way. This creep tumor indeed is going to get pushed forward. First two Hellions are popping out as well, and we do indeed have the fusion core follow up, and more Hellions will be built here. 7 Marines, 2 more Hellions being popped out of this factory. We'll have to wait and see what this is going to be capable of doing. Well, first of all, sniping this Overlord will be kind of big. Fusion core is not actually getting spotted though. I don't think that even in the end. Nope. That just barely got missed. That's kind of a big deal, but I do believe that Reynor is aware of how this build order works. He sees the medevac, he sees the factory on the reactor and says, okay, I think I can kind of figure out what this is going to be. I have full trust here in the Italian Zerg to indeed do that. More Hellions are moving on the map right now. We even have a small Ling run by being set up. Sadly for Reynor, there's going to be a command center in the wall that will block any type of run-by attempts into that natural. But this entire drop is moving towards the right side and tries to get a couple of worker kills here, but 5 queens in position should not take too much damage. Medevac actually gets taken out here, and on top of that 3 Hellions will fall. All of these Marines are going to get taken out. What an awful start here right away for Maru, who is going to be in some major trouble. At the same time, we see... Oh, no, the CC actually ended up dying to the 5 links. Yeah, I completely missed. I did not believe that they would have enough damage output to kill a command center here. Especially because that CC already had some HP. I'm not sure if there was a cancel on that or if there was a kill. Well, it doesn't show up in the... What's the units lost? How do you do buildings lost? I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I think it might just have been cancelled. Maru is of course a very quick player, so it wouldn't surprise me. Now, this battlecruiser is about to pop out and the first spores are already on the way, so I also believe this battlecruiser is not going to be super useful. We're currently on 7 queens, trying to go up to 9, 3 in the main base, soon to be 4. There's going to be 4, I think, outside as well. And the first roaches are being built right now, will be capable of stopping these Hellions. This is a good stop, I think. 1 Hellion is going to get taken out still. 3 drones will fall here. Target fire of the queens isn't optimal, but every single Hellion will die. 5 Hellions against 4 drones. That once again is a good trade for Reynor. Double spore in the natural. Does not need the queens there because of that. This battlecruiser is going to get pushed back. It feels like Maru is already running out of aggressive options. Reynor is absolutely destroying him so far. Like, this has not been a close game. When it comes to the responses to the builds, Reynor has been completely on point. There's a couple of queens moving in towards the natural right now as these spores continue dealing damage on this battlecruiser. And Maru needs to... Well, he needs to figure something out. And he needs to figure it out quick because Reynor's just going to get that very high drone count. Get Roach Ravager and Roach Ravager Corruptor perhaps even. I don't really see how Maru is even going to establish a forward base at some point. I mean, he has no tanks yet. Reynor already is at a drone count from which he can start producing units. Like, this can either go up to like 78 workers or stay at 68, 70-ish. And At that point, Reynor can actually just attack into this base, perhaps even. I'm not saying he can kill the third, but he can probably force a lift. There's 2 tanks. These are the first... Well, okay, 1 tank is out. These are the first 3 tanks. 7 minutes into the game. Yeah, Reynor's just going to be building units of 67 workers. I think this could potentially be very dangerous here for Maru. 8 more drones also being popped out. Will be, of course, for that 4th base that is about to finish up. These Hellions are trying to deal some damage, but actually just get damaged themselves by these queens. The creep spread is absolutely phenomenal as well. First corruptors are going to start flying out soon, 9 of them. Roaches are being produced as well, +1, as well as glial reconstitution. The roach speed is being researched right here. Now left side creep is being taken out at least a little bit. Let's see here, these Hellions are trying to move in, will get some damage. Once again, 6 Hellions for 3 drones is not going to be worth it. At the same time, these corruptors push back the flying threat of the battlecruiser. There's 2 of those currently. Yamato cannon just started, so it's not going to finish anytime soon. These corruptors will... I don't actually think you should commit to this. That seems like a mistake. There's too many turrets here right now. One of these turrets is going to get taken out. Second turret might also get taken out here actually by these corruptors. Of course, the peeing ability of the corruptor is quite powerful. Now, this turret on the left is going to get saved, at least for now. 4th command center on the way. This is a decent force here that Reynor has. I'm not sure if he can just straight up engage into this, like I thought he might be able to. But he's going to get a cancel here on this command center, surely. It's going to be pretty close. Might just barely not get it, actually. Might just kill it. That's even better. Maru finishes and he gets the kill off of it. Oi, 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 oi. Immediately rebuilds it. There's a lot of money, of course, in the bank here for Maru. A couple of tanks going to get taken out. Turrets as well falling right now. This attack might have some potential. These depots are going to fall for free. That's a lot of damage that Reynor is dealing here. Infestation pit already being built at home. So this is not like it's an all-in. This is off of 80 workers with a transition already prepared behind it. Depots are going to get taken out. 128 supply out of 117 currently. Against 183 out of 192. And there's still money in the bank. This is not the end of this push. This is not the last thing that Reynor is going to do aggressively. No, Reynor has lots of plans here. He's going to start rotating towards that right side again. Maybe he wants to try to take out the command center. And technically no tanks in position. It's kind of unlikely that it's completely gonna get it. Well, I say that. Actually, this is still a solid 15 seconds away from finishing. Ravagers moving in, snipe on that initial SCV. Lots of biles hitting it as well. He's going to go for another round of biles. Will once again snipe that SCV. Yep, there we go. No cancel again on the CC. And another SCV is already here to rebuild it for a 3rd time. Scan towards the main base, trying to figure out if Hive is being built yet. And all he sees is a hatchery. He already was aware of this because he already saw the layer in the natural before. A very sloppy play out of Maru. Probably did this just automatically out of habit on the minimap. A quick scan on the minimap and then clicked on it afterwards. And that's not going to be paying off for him whatsoever. Now, 2 of these corruptors are going to get Yamato out. There's not enough damage output to kill any of these battle cruisers before they teleport back home. But I'm not even sure how necessary that really is. I mean, Reynor is in an absolutely fantastic position currently. If he would kill the BCs, he would be in an almost unlosable position, but even without that, he's going to be just fine. Thors are being produced right now as well. CC gets killed again. That's the 3rd time. Well, this time it actually was a cancel. A couple of tanks are going to start falling. But this Roach Ravager trade, I'm not entirely sure how worth it that was. I want to say it was still fine. I mean, there's so much eco right now for Reynor, who's already taking a 6th base, a rather aggressive 6th base as well. Not going for this more safe left side, but says, hey, I want to take this forward base ASAP, because then no one can stop me when I do get it up. Like when, you know, when Terran starts expanding eventually to this right side, takes this base, in that type of scenario, this bad boy is way harder to keep. Now, biles are Going to try and land on these battlecruisers. Doesn't quite work. So here come the bigger brother, the Corruptors. Will manage to take out this first BC. I don't think there's a blink available. Yes, there are blink available on the other ones. Oh my god, Biles are going to hit as well. Fantastic 1-2 combination here out of Reynor with those Corruptors. Saying, hey, you either need to stay in this Bile position if you want to teleport right now, or you need to fly out of it and then you'll die to the Corruptors. So Reynor really making Maru choose here between losing the battlecruiser or losing the battlecruiser. And well, Maru went with losing the battlecruiser. That's the correct choice, I think, here. And it's quite frankly the only choice as well. Creep has been slowed down a little bit in the middle, or hasn't been slowed down. Reynor has just slowed down with it a little bit in that middle area. As now he's starting to push everything forward once again. And he starts directing his anger and his roach aggression towards this 9 o'clock base that Maru has just set up. Here come a lot of Ravagers moving in right now with a couple of Biles once again taking out a base. And this is the 5th base that is getting absolutely blasted off the face of the earth. Now, losing these command centers so continuously also means that there's really no extra scans available. And I think this is the real problem that we haven't really discussed yet. Every scan that Maru does right now is an expensive scan. It's a scan that he much rather probably would have spent into a mule. It's a scan that he can't continuously keep up either. Like, he hardly has any vision of its opponent's army, because one of the main tools that Terran uses is scanning consistently of 8, 9 command centers. If you lose 3 command centers, well, you lose 2, you have to cancel 1. That count of scans is just going to be going down and down and down. We do see an extra base on the way. I don't think this is going to be for a 5th base. I think he needs to initially at least add another orbital command. At the same time, by the way, we do have that Ghost Academy coming in. Scan sees the Corruptors and does allow him to... Oh, doesn't actually get the drone kill. That's kind of cute. Reynor with some slick moves there. That was very cool. I really do like that. Wouldn't mind an infestor or two, by the way. In this case, imagine having an infestor burrowed over here and an infestor burrowed over here. This would probably force these battlecruisers to be a lot more careful, because a single fungal, of course, or a single neural would be a huge deal. I think that's the type of bait that definitely pays off. And it's not like it's a lot of supply. It's not like Reynor is lacking money either. I think it definitely would be worth it. In general, just having burrowed infestor seems like a worthwhile play if you do it as early as you can. This Baneling Roach Ravager army is going to actually collapse on top of a lot of these tanks. But this wasn't a super efficient trade. I mean, most trades so far have not been efficient, but they have been fine, because Reynor does have the kind of the potential to mine out the entire side of the map of his own, and then a little bit with it as well. Like, this base might even be viable here, because I feel like Maru is almost more focused towards this top side. Like, this bottom side seems like a dead area. Perhaps Maru even wants to get like a command center here, morph it into a planetary. Like, these are all possible scenarios right now, and I'm actually wondering what the real plan is going to be. We have another command center being built more towards the top. It really does seem like Maru is focusing on this top side. This orbital is going to fly to that location, by the way. So Maru does want the 5th base. First Yamato going off on these Corruptors. Are the blinks available? Yes, they are. A couple of abducts, not the most useful abducts though. As a Raven is out at this point. Tanks are being taken out as well. Anti-armor missiles being used. That will make the helmets actually deal damage. It's huge. +3, -3 armor. Actually, it's a crazy, crazy spell. The anti-armor missile. It is absolutely insane in my opinion, how good that spell is. And how little we see it in the late game. Like, especially in TVP. Also in TVC, you could say, well, a single feedback kills the Raven. That's true, but if you ever get a single anti-armor missile off, a fight for Protoss is going to be unwinnable. -3 armor against Marine Marauder? Like, hey, there's just no way. I think it's such a good spell. I really do believe that. Now, these bad boys are going to start moving forward. These Ravagers, a couple of Blinding Clouds will hit the Thors, as these Ghosts will get blasted by some of the Banelings. But this actually was a pretty inefficient fight as well here for Reynor, who actually stays at the -6k. I think -6k is not that bad of a setup overall. Like, as long as it doesn't, you know... I usually prefer looking at it, first of all, like percentage-wise. And percentage-wise, this isn't that bad. It's like what? Heater's like 50%, loses 50% more than Maru here. It's not, it's okay, it's not great, but it's not that bad. It really is not that bad. I've seen games where Zerg trades like basically 2 times as bad. You'll be playing like 10k against 20k, and that usually isn't too good. But in this type of case, I think it's completely fine. Although Reynor does need to be careful, this base becomes somewhat important. And I don't think he expected it to be. I'll explain that a little bit later. Lynx moving in right now. Banelings once again getting blasted out as well. His 5 SCVs do end up dying. Big run by on this refinery. Will be capable of taking it out. It's going to be burning down. Huge deal here as a massive cut into Maru's gas mining. Will be only on 10 refinery or 9 refineries right now, rather than the 10 that he was on before. Oh yeah, Maru's definitely gonna be feeling that cut. That was a deep one. That was a very, very deep cut. Now, what I was gonna say is that this topside base becomes more important. We're moving into a split base scenario here, where the bottom side bases are technically free for Reynor, but this base isn't. And it's going to be a split map scenario. Oh, we have a decently sized fight here. Another anti-armor missile. Ghost in the back. BCs teleport home as well. So yeah, the problem here for Reynor really is just going to be that I don't think he can mine from this base. And right now he is not mining from this one either. So that means we'll have a pure split map scenario. And with a pure split map scenario, I think Maru is winning because he's going to be trading cost efficiently. Reynor does need to start forcing things if he won't outmine his opponent in the grand scheme of things. And that really is an issue. That's an issue that I had not expected after seeing that early game. A couple of Ravager Biles will hit the tanks as well. And these all of these Ravagers are going to die. Upgrades still look good for Reynor, of course. But right now he's down 12k. Starting to get a little bit worse in the trades. And Maru also just isn't losing any of his important units. And that often is the main issue when you're watching Maru beat another Zerg. For these Zergs, the issue is that they'll get trades and they'll kill like the Hellbats. And they kill like maybe even a base and 10 SCVs. But they throw away like 6.5k of army in resources in army. And they kill maybe 1200 because they kill pure mineral units again and again and again, and maybe half a planetary. But these ghosts and these tanks and the Thors, they stay alive and they just don't go down. This base is going to get taken out for free. That's really nice. These are the types of trades that you would want if you're Reynor. I also would not mind if he tries to take this base, even if it's only for the gas. Mining what? 1200 gas here would already be kind of useful. Viper, full on energy. It's just moving towards this left side. Not quite sure what it's going to try and achieve, but it might achieve a near-death experience. This is very close to these BCs. At the same time, though, Reynor's actually getting a trade here, and for once gets some of these valuable units. Look at these Thors go. That's actually not that great here for Maru, losing these Thors, of course. He will need to rebuild those, just out of a precaution for Brute Lords. It's not like these Thors are actually useful against the army that Reynor is currently building, but they might be useful against a future Reynor army, and that's really what he's building them for. Now, Reynor's still continuing to mine from this base, and it's currently down, what is it, 14k in resources. Once again, it's not the end of the world, but it does kind of indicate that he needs to start doing something, and he needs to start doing something quick. This feels like a vulnerable area. This top side feels a little bit more set up than before. At least a couple of tanks are there. And we do have that watchtower, of course, which is super useful. Let's face it, the watchtower is just super useful. Snipes are going to take out all of these queens. I actually think that Maru needs to be very careful here now. Does he really believe he can fight this? This seems like a dangerous little mission here. At the same time, though, we have these Brood Lords moving in. Is there anything here in position to deal with these Brutes? Quickly, the Ghosts start moving back. Thors are trying to move into position as well. 2 Yamatos get cast, but this tank line is going to disappear. Or at least the first 2 tanks are going to disappear. I actually thought this would do more. This would do more, I would believe it. Ling run by in towards the natural now, though. Might be capable of taking out this +3 armor. Thors will get surrounded as well. No Helbets being here is going to cost Maru. Oh, 2 of these Thors will end up getting picked up. So not really the end of the world. This refinery stays alive, though. And that is really what's important. Randy the refinery. We always name buildings. Actually, that's not a weird thing. We actually do that in most countries, don't we? If you have like a big building, it's like the name of the architect or some famous person attached to it. This is Randy. Randy the refinery. Randy was a man that worked in a Vespine mine his entire life for 85 years straight. And then sadly he died. The results of inhaling too much Vespine. And they named this refinery after him in the natural base. Randy originally worked in this one though, in the main base. In actual facts, this is a true story. Got told to me by, passed down from generations. That's what happened to it. My dad told me, and his dad told my dad. And my dad's dad got told by his dad. It's like a line down. From generation upon generation. These Broodlords will, however, not survive to see their next generation, as well, at least one of them got taken out here by the Thors. The Thors continue moving forward. The Broodlords, well, they either want to die or they believe there's backup coming. There is backup coming right now. Lynx will get the surround on these Thors. That is a big deal. Some ghosts are going to fall as well. First few ghosts are going down. This is a good trade. This actually was a good trade here for the Zerg player. But Maru's bank is still growing. Couple of Helbets will try and take care of this. If this bottom side base doesn't get mined, by the way, we might get a scenario eventually where Maru actually completely outmines his opponent. That would be very sad. Helbets moving in. Oh, that was big. Scan knows that the drones are going to be burrowed here. Very cool play. Very, very cool play. And at the same time, the cavalry will show up. Always exactly on time, of course. Topside base is mining a little bit, but it's not enough. This isn't going to be enough. It really isn't. Reynor needs a good fight right now. This is actually the only chance. Reynor currently has a single chance of winning this game, and it's going to be through a major fight. He's lost too much money. He's lost too many bases. What is this army currently? It is 2 infestors. It's going to be 18 Broodlords and a bunch of corruptors. That is really all we're working with right now. Like, this fight needs to just work. Like, he's down in bank. He's massively down in bank. He's not going to be capable of mining from this base. He won't be capable even of mining this base, most likely, if Maru starts focusing the attention on that bottom side. And Maru currently is. We can see that because he's building command centers there. There's more orbitals on the way as well. 9 orbitals out already. 2 more being built. I actually cannot believe this. I really... Oh my god. Oh, the Raven spotted that. I cannot believe that this game is going in Maru's favor. That is super crazy. This game felt completely over after the early game. Here come the Broodlords though. Couple of snipes going down. These first Broodlords. Oh, EMP will hit this fungal. Seems like the Broodlords are kind of chewing through, but the concave of these Thors is just a little bit too crazy. I actually think that Reynor is dead. Reynor is absolutely dead here. The battlecruiser is still alive as well. These corruptors are going to get taken out. And if there's no anti-air, then these BCs will clean it up. And after a fantastic early game, probably the greatest 12 minutes that anyone has ever had against Maru, Reynor just cannot finish it. He could not finish it. He tried so hard. But, I mean, right now he's down 60 supply. There's still a massive ghost army. Maru, I thought he had a command center here that he was building. Probably he's going to float something over here soon. Oh, he's just going to take Reynor's base right now. Yeah, this is... yeah, that's like dancing on the grave. This is painful for Reynor. A couple of mules are going to drop here. At the same time, we do see a rotation, defensive rotation. Reynor says, no, you're not taking this base, buddy. I ain't letting it happen. And Maru says, well, what you gonna do about it, buddy? What you gonna do? Well, GG out, apparently. Maru wins this game. Absolutely fantastic performance out of him. A super cost-efficient fight. Actually, eventually getting that, you know, that I would call it 100% cost efficiency. Like, literally literally losing twice as little as his opponent. Half. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Half of what his opponent lost. So impressive little game here. What's the unit loss say? 25 Brute Lords, 600 Links, 12 Ghost, 64 Hellbats going down. Jesus Christ, this was quite the game. 2 Ravens as well. I really like the consistency at which Maru rebuilds that Raven. That is important. I mean, just having one, we can see it here. Just having one of these starports with a tech lab on it. It's just a big deal. It's a tech lab that built the battle cruisers earlier as well, of course. So you could just kind of keep it there. Eventually, I do think for the Ghost, you probably need 1 or 2 medevacs. So it might be worth to get another starport. But I mean, I'm not going to backseat Maru here after this performance, because it was really, really fantastic. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.